What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. Now I'll go ahead and start this one off with a facepalm and go ahead and surrender to you guys and tell you do not kill the messenger. Okay, today we had a state of the game and it just keeps proving that the developers just really, oh man, they do not stick to what they tell us, and they decide to change it at any given point due to how they feel. They postponed the raid again, so this is now over 6 months of delays for the raid. They have delayed Season 2 for another 2 weeks. So instead of having a 1 week downtime, we get a 3 week. Well, yeah, a 3 week downtime. And they have shown that they really just want our money. So, yeah, this is going to be a news and a Say the Game recap video, but it's also going to be a little bit of a rant video because there's some things that I just need to get off my chest about this video game and the developers that are in charge of it, because I swear to any god out there, Buddha, Satan, Hydra, whatever god you worship, I swear that if they gave some of us players the availability to help them develop this game, it would be in so much better condition. I swear to you it would. Now, the problem that I am facing with this is that they do not stick to what they tell us. They do not tell us something and then back it up. They walk the walk, but they do not talk the talk. This is a huge problem, especially with a player base that has already started crumbling since that ban wave happened and everyone got those suspensions and gear rollbacks. The community has already been crumbling a little bit. It's been very fragile. And now today, they are just proving that they don't care. They're just going to keep doing what they want to do. If they want to change dates or push something back or, change priorities, they're going to do it to their will. They are not listening to us as a community. They are just doing what they want to do and how they feel like doing it. It is ridiculous. So, the 3 topics I'm going to talk about today: Season 2, TU10, and the second raid, the Foundry. Let's just start off with Season 2. Now, if you guys have noticed, and let me show you on the map, the only things really available are manhunt activities. Now, I'm on my second or third character, whichever, and all I have on here are manhunt activities all over the map. Now, the problem with this is you go to your seasons and all the events are ended. It shows that the last event, Guardians, ended 9 days ago. Now, before Season 1 started, they told us that it would be a 13-week-long period per season. It would be 12 weeks of activities, whether it be leagues, global events, manhunts, and then it would be a 1-week downtime where they would prepare us for Season 2. Now, if you look at this, you can see it's already been 9 days. So technically, we should have already been starting Season 2 as of this week. However, because they decided to do a PTS with TU10 that lasted 3 weeks, they pushed everything to the right, meaning they delayed everything. So, not only do we not get a Season 2 this week or next week, we have to wait until the following week on June 23rd. So instead of having a 1-week downtime, we now have a 3-week downtime. That just by itself goes against what they told us in the beginning about seasons, because now we know that it's not a set clock. Now we know that there is not a true timeline to seasons. It is up to the developer's discretion when they want to release the next season. We all know in Division 1, global events happened every month. It was like clockwork. Every month it happened no matter what was going on with the game. However, with the Division 2 and the lack of developers, they're just doing whatever they feel like. So for a lot of us, we were promised, hey, 12 weeks of Season 1 week of downtime, then you get Season 2. 12 weeks of Season 2, you get 1 week downtime, Season 3. And so on and so forth, like a well-oiled machine. And that had the player base, happy. You had continuous content, whether it be great or not, that's up to discussion. And then you'd have that 1 week downtime, they give you hints on what's about to happen, and then that next week, boom, you have more additional content. Now, we are not getting that. Now, if they feel like they need to work on something else, they are just delaying everything they've already promised us. Now, this is my problem with seasons. It is not set in stone. It is not a well-oiled machine like we thought it would be. Instead, it's up to the developers to release it whenever they want and just change what they told us. They started off with today's State of the Game saying, oh, we forgot to add that the Banshee Pulse duration or cooldown is longer. We just forgot to add it into the patch notes. They continuously walk back and apologize for what they have done instead of just doing what they tell us when they told us. Now this kind of segues into my Foundry raid part of this video. And for that I'll probably do a little underground farming. Now, the second part of this, that's just the seasons. I'm upset because they decided they did not want to stick to their guns and give us a 12-week long season, 1 week downtime, and then go on to the next season. Instead, they decided to do a TU10 PTS, and that got pushed in front of all of the new content. Now, if you guys remember, you guys were testing the new gear sets, you guys were testing the new exotics, and I don't know if you guys understand this, but those are not coming out with TU10. Those are specifically linked to the raid and Season 2. So next week with TU10, we get the game changes, balancing, weapons, whatnot. We get those changes. We do not get anything new at all until the 23rd of June. So, I will repeat that. Next Tuesday, you get Title Update 10. That will not bring any additional content at all. Those are all going to be the nerfs and buffs and, little way of life game changes of the game. Now, the next part of this is about the raid. Oh my gosh. Alright, so if you guys go to the E3, last year's E3, the Division 2 had a big opening about that. You had Terry from Red Storm talk about them, and he went over, new things that were coming out, and then additionally he had a timeline that he presented to the world. Within that timeline, it showed that the new raid, the Foundry, would come out late 2019. I'll repeat that. The new raid was initially scheduled for the end of 2019. The problem with this is that it's already June of 2020. So what happened is the initial timeline, it said late 2019, and then they changed it to holiday 2019, which was supposed to be, around Christmas. And then they said, oh, it's not going to be late 2019, it's going to be early 2020. So initially everyone thought, okay, we'll get the new raid around, January, February. So January, February comes around. Chris Gansler, whatever his name is, community developer, said, "Oh, okay, it's not coming early 2020. It's going to come out spring of 2020." So all of us agents were like, "Okay, spring 2020 is, March to June. So no later than June." Well, March rolls around, and then they say, "Oh, well, we still have till June. Don't worry, guys. It's going to come out in spring." Well, June has come and passed. They're saying that maybe it might come out in July. Maybe. And in fact, Yannick today said don't trust him on that it's probably subject to change. Meaning that if anything were to go wrong, they're going to push the raid back again. So we go from late 2019 to early 2020 to spring of 2020, and now it's maybe July of 2020. So we still do not have a release date for the new raid, the Foundry. Yeah, that's, if you want to say disappointing, that's an understatement. Man, is that disappointing. So TU10 is the last of all these things, and they push that to the forefront. So now we're going to get TU10 before Season 2. We're going to get TU10 before the new raid, and that's not at all what we wanted. I promise you, half of this player base is here for the new raid. And the other half of the player base is wondering where the additional content is. They're pushing back the additional content by a few weeks. The new raid is subject to change, which means who knows when that's going to come out. And yeah, TU10 got pushed to the forefront. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but that's beyond disappointing as a player, content creator, and overall fan of the Division franchise. They tell us one thing and then they change it because of whatever. They don't necessarily care. Today they showed us little interviews of each developer and what they're doing while in quarantine, and working from home is so hard. But a majority of what they do is on the computer, and you can do that remote anywhere. So it's kind of confusing. They say they're bringing us all this additional content, and then when they delay it, they go back to that crutch of, oh, well, we're working from home. And it's like, dude, you've been working from home for months now. How is this any different? And it's just ridiculous. So, overall summary, they are pushing the season 2 back to June 23rd. Hopefully, we'll get that 12-week long season and then a 1-week downtime. But at this point, it's up to the developers. We have no idea what they're going to do until they do it. For the raid, I have nothing really good to say about that. They've pushed it to the right again. A lot of us were hoping that we would get TU10 Season 2 and the raid all, within the same week. But it's looking like that's not going to happen, and they can't even tell us when the raid's going to come out. So with that being said, next week we get TU10. A lot of balancing changes, a lot of, just way of life changes, buffs, nerfs, what have you. We are not getting any new additional content until Season 2, which starts on June 23rd. Now, one last thing I wanted to say about Season 2 is that they have said that the global events in Season 2 will be the exact same as Season 1. The only difference is that they're going to add one new global event. So we're already seeing that the seasons are going to be a rinse and repeat of previous seasons. The league is pretty much going to be the same no matter what. It's just speed runs and certain missions, nothing special at all. So the only real additional content we are getting is going to be the manhunts, and that's about it. So yeah, I don't know what you guys feel about that. What you guys are going to be paying for is apparel items in that premium track. You might get, a handful of additional gear items and maybe one or two named items. But for the most part, you're just paying for apparel items and, the chance of getting something good. Me personally, I don't think it's worth it. I would not pay for that premium track, and I would take what the developers say with a grain of salt, because everything that they have told us thus far has not come true, and in fact, the timelines that they give us do not stick to what they're saying. They talk the talk and they get us all hyped, but they do not walk the walk, and then we end up disappointed time and time again. Yeah, I think I'm done about that. It's been a pretty long rant video. That was today's state of the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this. I am Kamikazevondoom. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.